And welcome everyone, thank you very much for joining me today on my latest podcast. Me and Aaron I'm with Aaron from Outta City Cop. You know his name already, you would have known him. Alright mate?
Hello mate, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad mate, thank you very much for coming on. It's been a very, very, very difficult last 24 hours and the last couple of 3 months really for Liverpool fans, depending on what side of the fence you are in terms of transfers.
Yeah, without a doubt. I've made myself look a bit of a tit now and then. Devastated about the whole transfer. I thought Van Dijk was going to come, without a doubt. But hey ho, there's always January, I guess.
Always January. We wanted players in last January, but that didn't happen. But yeah, literally, me and Aaron, especially Aaron as well. Like I haven't done a video transfer roundup, but obviously, best place to talk about transfers really is my mate Aaron anyway. Man to man. But Liverpool fan to Liverpool fan anyway, it's the best way to do it. I'd rather speak to Aaron than just do a video on my own. But yeah, nice one mate for coming on. Aaron,
thank you.
Yeah, Aaron's got a couple of questions from his subscribers and anyway, but it's if you want to, I think, was it the second question you read out to me before mate? Do you want to just start it off with that?
Right. Yeah, this is a message from David Carroll over on my channel. He's a subscriber, he put down in the comment section. Right, the net spend is a total joke and no centre-back. We sell one of our best defenders and we have not addressed the defence. Okay, going forward, but come against the top sides and we will be found out. Okay, we got some very good players and cater next year, but to hear the 35 million in 3 years sums up FSG. What do you guys think?
What's your thoughts really? I want to ask you first.
My thoughts on that? Yeah, I agree. I think the net spend isn't great over 3 years. I personally do agree with that, and I strongly think that's not good enough for the stature of where we are for a club. We're Liverpool FC. We should be going in for the biggest and the best. We should be spending. We should be competing. I understand that we don't want to be ripped off, so I get that. But there's a point where, for years now, we've needed a centre back. We know that Virgil van Dijk, as well as FSG, as well as most Liverpool supporters, wanted to secure Virgil van Dijk. If they knew if they weren't 100% in signing that player, I do not understand why they did not have going for another centre back. You know, Koulibaly, Jonathan Tah. Personally, they're better than Lovren. So when he came out with a statement saying, "Is there many better centre backs out there than Lovren?" Well, I've just named 2, and they'd have been a lot cheaper than what Virgil van Dijk goes for. So that annoys me. That annoys me quite a lot. The fact that we signed Naby Keita, yeah, that's fantastic, but
that's for next year, isn't it?
When he's here.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was that?
That's for next year as well, isn't it? It's like,
yeah.
I was made up. Don't get me wrong. Naby Keita is going to be one of the top European midfielders in the European game for the next 5 years. But we fended off interest from Barcelona, Juventus, the top European clubs. And for me personally, on Virgil van Dijk, I think Jurgen's just got his heart set on him. Like, literally, full on, 100%. And if he can't get him, why not waste 50, 60 million on another defender? Just wait. If you can wait 6 months, I know it's not ideal saying that now, but in hindsight, if you look back on it and this defence, it depends. It depends what day you get them on. If you look what the happened against Watford and last season and the season before, we've all watched Liverpool, and there's times when you're just like, what are you doing? What are you doing? But hopefully, but it's no good me saying hopefully when come say about a couple of months down the line, all of us are getting just like 2 months before January and we're like, what has happened to this defence? I don't know. Hopefully, I trust Klopp. And every single one of us do, you do, and every single Liverpool fan. But we've seen this time after time after time, even with Rodgers, and the time under Rafford as well, who's perceptible to defence. It's just been Liverpool's thing that's led us down from winning titles. If we miss out in Europe anyway, and it's down to our defence, and in the league, if it comes back to bite us on the bump, which I think it will. But I'm willing to trust Lovren and Joe, but it's yeah, you can have the absolute worldies, Lovren and Matip, but it's what happens when you get injuries. Like, how old's Joe Gomez? Is he like 21, 22?
Yeah, something around that.
Yeah, you're relying on a young lad to actually come in and play against Europeans' best. Like only, especially Sacco leaving the club, you're relying on 4 centre-backs to get you through the season. And for me, Virgil van Dijk, every single one of us wanted Virgil van Dijk, and I think Jurgen Klopp he was his number one priority target, but there's only so much you can do when the selling club is not going to sell the player. I don't know, what you, like, don't know.
See, well, I agree with where you're coming from, but I think with our defence, we are seriously one injury with a centre back, and I think it will just go, it will just collapse. We can't afford to keep living like this. We've had it with our strikers before. We've had it with our midfield. Just one injury away.
Yeah.
This was the time to sort that out. Oxlade-Chamberlain, don't get me wrong, I think that's a fantastic signing. 35 million with bonuses up to 40 million, I've heard. You know, that is English talent with that bags of experience, with the potential he has under Jurgen Klopp. I think he's a brilliant signing.
Like, for me, I love Oxlade-Chamberlain when I've watched him for years upon years. He's only 23. And under Klopp, I can see him developing into another Adam Lallana type. Adam's heading into his 30s now. This coming year, he's not like he's getting any younger. And you've got Ox there, 23. And the whole fan base is really split on the Ox. I know he was the only signing yesterday, but it's not the Ox's fault that we didn't sign. I think a lot of people were taking their anger out on, obviously, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, saying, he's absolutely terrible. And he's got an even worse injury record than Sturridge. Yeah, the last 2 years he's not had the best injury record, but for me, you look at the players that we have got. We would have say if we did get Virgil van Dijk in, I don't think a lot of people still would have been moaning, like if we would have got Virgil van Dijk.
People always are going to whinge. You always get people moaning. Like you said with Chamberlain, I do believe that he is like the replacement for Lallana, because Lallana seems to get injuries quite often. I can see him moulding into that similar role. You know, the high intensity, the high aggression, his athleticism. He can be creative. I think the people what are annoyed about Chamberlain is his statistics aren't great. Excusing the injuries, if you're injured, you're injured. But his last season was his best season ever for Arsenal. Prior to that, they haven't been great at all. People are a bit dubious about his end ball, his end product. He loses concentration in games is another thing that a lot of people have said to me. I can see that, but I think Gary Neville summed it up really well. If you caught his interview today on Sky Sports, he was saying Chamberlain has all the attributes, and under Jurgen Klopp, he could be fantastic, because that's what Jurgen Klopp does. He brings the best out of people. The quote he said is, "It won't be an easy ride. You know, you're going to be turning up there, and it's going to be hard work. You're going to have to be mature. You're going to have to be like a man, and actually knuckle down and develop your career, and actually say, look, this is what I want to do. I want to be successful. Let me mature myself, grow up, stick to games, stay concentrated, and just give it the best." And I think he will be a success at Liverpool. I really, really do.
Yeah, I think, like, if you look at the manager we've got in Jurgen Klopp, what's his whole premise on players? He develops them. He makes them better. And if he's under the influence of obviously thinking, I 100%, 110% back Jurgen. If he can think he can make Dejan Lovren better defensively, then go ahead. We can all give him one more year. Not like, I mean, like, we're going to get rid of him or anything, but we'll find out if Klopp's being too stubborn in the market. But I don't know. We don't know what's happened behind the closed doors, do we? So something completely major could have happened. But
yeah, I agree with that too. But like, I think what people are getting annoyed about is under Brendan Rodgers, it was all about buying young, developing them, and then going out and being world beaters. That never happened. So people are still reliving that day. And you know what? Under Brendan Rodgers, we're just getting told the same story under Klopp as well. We're going to buy young. We can develop them. We can develop them. Liverpool fans, from what I've been getting over on my channel, are sick of that development stage. They want to be buying in players that are going to be coming in and bettering our first team, rather than going, well, let's see what could happen, because potentially he could be brilliant. and they're sick of the whole potential. They just want people who are fit and ready to jump into it and make our team better. I think that's where the annoyance are coming from.
Yeah, no, I completely get that. I'm sometimes I'm like that. Like, who was it? Like, remember Van Persie years ago when Fergie went out and just bought him, like, for the sake of it. He was the highest goal scorer the year before, and Fergie was like, right, how can I win this league title back from City? He just went, yeah,
he won him the league.
Yeah, like, literally, you could be that one player away from winning the league, and hopefully. That's the sort of thing like a lot of us, speaking to you as well, and a lot of fans, I bet you know everyone on your channel as well, like, Virgil van Dijk could have been that one key difference.
Yeah, that is exactly how we feel. You know, like everyone keeps reiterating, yeah, it's fair enough getting Keita, they better our first team 11, but it's where Liverpool fans have the problem. The only problem we all have a problem with in our team is defensively, and we haven't addressed it. Again, that is where the frustration really lies.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know, hopefully, like you said, January ain't too far away. Hopefully our squad can stay clear of injuries prior to January. And if we can get him in January, then fantastic.
We've started off the league fantastic. 7 points out of 9. That's not a bad start to the season.
No, undefeated.
Yeah, like, totally. Literally, like, we can carry on. But I think this season, I think we're completely missing a trick with Mohamed Salah. Like, with the integration of him, he would put teams... Our forward line is our first point of defence. And if you've got teams less likely to attack you, and our attackers are more likely to counter press or attack them, I think teams will be a lot more wary and we'll get attacked a lot less. But I think our defensively, when it always comes down to, it's not getting it on the counter attack, it's always set pieces. It's basic defending. It's just a matter of someone dragging someone. That's where the whole captaincy debate for me comes with Jordan Henderson. Everyone's got a different viewpoint on Jordan Henderson. You just need someone to have the balls to actually drag someone from the first post and just say, right, stay on your man. And we've seen it against Watford. And hopefully that's just a blip this season. Hopefully. It was ideal. It happened in the first game of the season. Because Klopp could have literally got them in the changing room, just give them a big slap over the head, every single one of them, on that corner, and be like, what are you doing? That ball could have been cleared 5 times. Whether you put Virgil van Dijk in that defence, he can still do his job. But you've got Gini Wijnaldum, Adam Lallana and Mane, like, not doing their job defensively, if you get me. Like,
yeah, I get where you're coming from. I agree. I don't think I think it's more of a systematic problem.
Yeah.
You know, zonal marking is just not for me. I don't get why we haven't adapted to the man marking just to see what happens. Why not? We're not doing great at zonal marking. Just show the fans, look, we'll play a couple of games doing man marking and let's see what happens. What have we got to lose? You know, we are conceding stupid goals all the time. Maybe it won't happen again, so be nice. But Jurgen Klopp seems like the person who doesn't like to change his philosophy and his style, and, you know, fair play to him.
Yeah, I don't think he's too stubborn. He's not as stubborn as Brendan Rodgers. You seen the back end of Rodgers? He was literally just not changing anything. He was set in his ways and he was like, no, I'm not changing anything. That eventually got him the sack, didn't it? But I think Jurgen, but literally moving it, bringing it back to transfers. How refreshing is it if it was true that you've got Arsenal team players in the French national team banging down the door of Lamar, begging him to sign the contract to join Arsenal, and he's like there going, no, I don't want to play for you. I want to play for Brendan Rodgers. Oh my lord, that's not getting cut out anyway. For Jurgen Klopp, like, how refreshing is it? You got Naby Keita wanting to join Liverpool, one of the hottest prospects in Europe in the game, and there's players out there in Europe. I think regardless of bringing players in or out, that is the big change this transfer window. The realisation from players around Europe that you want to play under the tenure of Jurgen Klopp and you want to play for our football club. We haven't heard that for years. When was the last time? It was literally, I can't think. When you're going in for players, yeah, it might be just the players are just turning teams down. Keita turned down Barca just to join us, and wants to play under Jurgen Klopp. I don't know. What do you reckon?
Right, you probably. What do I reckon? I'm sort of glad you put this up, because I reckon I'm going to say it and answer this question probably not like how most people are going to answer it. See, I think people are only saying that is because we didn't secure the players, right? So I think it looks more bad on people, on FSG and Liverpool as a whole with that statement, because if this player, all well and good, it's brilliant that they're wanting to play for us. They're turning down other teams. They're saying, no, I want to play for Liverpool. So why aren't we going in there and giving them the money and getting that player if they want to play for us? Why do we keep cocking it up? If that Lamar whole statement about Arsenal knocking on the door, if that's all legit and true, why ain't Liverpool stumping up the bid? The player clearly wants to play for us. He's passionate. He's turning down. He's going against his French teammates. He's rejecting Arsene Wenger, which just attract French players. Sorry.
Bonjour.
So why aren't Liverpool going in with the bid? Why aren't we going in for it? Why aren't we securing it? Yeah, it's fantastic that we've finally got to a stage where players want to play for us. So why aren't we going and giving them the money to receive the players? Did you see how well he played against for France?
It was just the chances of him banging into on that exact same night.
And his second goal was sublime, absolutely sublime. But yeah, I agree. It's nice. It's refreshing to hear that players want to join. I just don't understand, if that is the case, why we haven't gone and got him.
I think the thing with the whole Lamar thing, we didn't know about Lamar. If this is just absolute a load of bull, we don't really know, because he wasn't on our. I didn't do a transfer roundup at all leading up to the summer about Lamar until like last Monday, until the last running. I just hope, and I think it was Guillaume Balaguer. I don't know. You don't know who to believe. Literally, every single journalist was saying something completely different. Literally every single one of them. You can't really trust anyone, like, really. That's why I wasn't looking in too much into it. But the last reporting I done on the Lamar one was we offered 75 million plus the Divock Origi loan or whatever, whether that was true or whatever not. And then lastminute.com, Arsenal went in and offered 92 million. And obviously Monaco accepted that. And then Arsenal literally pulled out for some weird reason. That's whether you want to believe it or not, on Sky Sports or whatever. It was absolute madness. But I just hope the agents and all that, because we don't know. Our interest could have been concrete or could have been absolutely nonsense. I don't know, but I don't know where to stand. It's frustrating, but we've offered like 60, 70 million for Naby, and then we got him sorted prior to it. Why would we be bidding 70 odd million when we should be bidding 70 odd million on a centre back? That's what I want to know.
But why are we reluctant never to go beyond our first bid? Why are we reluctant on the 72 million? If you know 92 million is going to secure that player, you know Virgil van Dijk's not coming in at this time, so you can go, right, we could get this player in. You know they're going to get pandemonium from the fans from not signing anyone, saying apparently that we have a 150 million war chest, when our next spend, minus the Naby Keita bit because he's not signed for us, is £35 million over 3 years. That is our net spend.
That's Oh, sorry. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
That for me, it doesn't. Once this Naby Keita comes in, what is it, 48 million? So you can add 48 million on that. But until the actual player comes in, I'm not going to address that. 35 million over 3 years isn't good enough for our team, personally. Yes, don't get me wrong, there is positives. We have secured players like Mane, Salah, Matip on a free. Good bits of business.
Keeping Phil
Coutinho. Is he going to come back the player that he was once were? We hope so. For me, personally, on the Phil Coutinho part, I've been saying on my channel quite a lot, people are saying, what do you think? Should we let him back? Look, if he comes back into the team and starts scoring goals, then that's fair enough, it's helping us out. But in my opinion, if any player puts in a transfer request and isn't 100% committed to the team, then let him go. I do understand that's his dream move. I get that. I ain't got a problem with him, how he wanting to go to Barcelona. A lot of Brazilians, South Americans like that region of the world to play their football. I don't agree with how he has done it, the timing he's done it. So for me, he should go. But like I said, if he comes in and scores goals and puts in a performance, I do still see him leaving at the end of the year, if not January.
Yeah. It's frustrating. It is for every single one of us. Defensively, we've got City next, haven't we, in the league? But we don't. I'm hoping, as I started off the show where I mentioned Watford, hopefully it's a blip and the players have actually learned. But we're not magicians. We can't see into the future. But only time will tell. Only time will tell. It's pointless us going around in circles. Every single Liverpool fan, every single one of us, looking at the past. I think we should just literally look to the future, and then if it does come to the point where someone's got to be blamed, then I'm pretty sure Jurgen will hold his hands up and say he's the manager of this football club. He's in charge of getting, no matter whatever you want to think, anyone wants to think. Jurgen Klopp, as soon as he started his press conference, his very first press conference, said he'll be in charge of every single transfer in and out of that club. And if anyone wants to speak to him or wants to regarding transfers, he's the main man of this football club. So the blame will get branded, rightly so, to the manager. But
yeah,
that's at the end of the day. So it's not FSG's problem. I'm pretty sure they would have given the money, and there's no doubt they would have given the money. They've given the money for the players. It's just a matter of if Jurgen or whoever is getting the transfers in can get it done. I'm not having FSG and not giving Jurgen significant funds, because that's absolutely ridiculous. Because there is money there to be spent. It's just whether or not. You've seen what Jurgen was doing at Borussia Dortmund. He's come from a club that really isn't used to spending big money, and they even let their best players go to the likes of Bayern and the big European kings around Europe, to a club in which that has a transfer policy and has the money in a Premier League club as Liverpool, that we could go out and spend 60, 70, 80 million pounds. I think that's new to him, even though he's 2-3 years into his tenure at the club. But I think he's getting used to it. I don't know.
Yeah, there's truth in that. Don't get me wrong, but it's just, regardless, you should have more alternatives. The centre back is our Achilles heel. Our defence is our Achilles heel. I had a fantastic comment. Right, Liverpool is like a bird with big. Liverpool is like a woman with big breasts and no arse. Is what the comment was, and I thought, what, that's spot on. You look at the front, fantastic. Go to the back, and it ain't so great. I think we should have still addressed the centre back issue. I understand developing. I understand not being ripped off. I understand if we only have to wait 6 months, but surely by now it's not worth getting everyone up in array, because that's what all this transfer window is going to have done now. It just put a little bit of a split in the fans, because they're just going to argue. People saying no, they're done right, and you're going to have people saying
fans shouldn't be really arguing. What we all should be doing is getting behind the football club and getting behind the manager and getting behind the players.
That's the most important thing.
We can't be doing nothing if we've not got Virgil van Dijk. It's gone. The window's shut. Yeah. It's shut like a couple of hours ago. We can't be all going, even me and you and every single one of us, we can't just keep on branding on about, we didn't bring this player, we didn't bring that in. Just focus on the players and back the players at the football club.
I agree. We've got a lot to look forward to, haven't we? Like you said, we're unbeaten this season. We've still got a fantastic squad. Yeah. We're still in the Champions League football. We've still got everything to play for.
That defence got us Champions League football last season. It got us fourth. That team got us. That defence got us Champions League football last season.
Yeah, exactly.
I just say just, but it did.
Yeah, it did. I think the worry is the fact that we've now got more games, haven't we? So from going for how many games we had to now getting the Champions League football, I just think people are worried. Going up against tougher opposition, which the Champions League will give us.
Bring them on.
It will settle a lot of people's nerves.
Yeah,
personally.
Yeah, I do get everyone's, but the time to worry about it is the end of the season, when we get knocked out of the Champions League, when we get knocked out of the FA Cup. Hopefully we don't. Yeah. But the times when this occurs, and I mean big occurrences, Defensively, Chelsea, we only conceded 8 more goals than Chelsea compared to Chelsea last season. And they won the title. That's the margins. That is the margins. 8 goals last season compared to Chelsea in the Premier League.
That's a good point. It is a good point.
We only... So, I don't know. It's what way you want to look at it. Like, Chelsea, United, City, they all concede goals. It's just obviously how less you concede goals. Even if we had a record total of conceding less goals, we still have to do the other job, which is score goals.
Yeah, it's just we concede the same goal, don't we? That's the thing. Is what's annoying. Like you said, everyone concedes goal. That's inevitable. That's going to happen.
Yeah,
I think in our last 11 games or 10 games, we've got 7 clean sheets or 8 clean sheets or something like that.
The defence is capable. It can keep clean sheets. I think obviously as you mentioned before, and the injuries. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure. But that was it. Literally, I was going to mention it before. Do you know when we're defensively, the way in which we play and the way in which Jurgen Klopp plays, it's inevitable. Even look at Barcelona's, the Real Madrid's, the Bayern Munich's, the way in which their philosophy in attack and play, they are left a lot more open to being attacks or counter-attacks, or they're a lot more exposed, basically. Their 2 centre-backs are a lot more exposed compared to, say, if you like a West Brom or another team in European game that is more Atletico Madrid-based, like 2 banks of 4, sit behind the ball. But even when Barcelona were the kings of Europe, they still conceded goals. But they were used to, obviously, the attack and play. They focused more on their attacking play and style. They done their first job, which was attacking teams, scoring goals. The writing will be on the wall, but we should focus on our best attributes as a team, and that's scoring goals. And even if we have to outscore teams and win games, we win games, which is the most important thing.
Yeah, I agree. Like you said, the people that like you said, their best attribute, is to attack. That's where you put your fear into teams. They're going to sit back and defend more and not attack you as much because they know what your attack's like. So therefore, it eases the pressure off the back line. I totally agree with that. It's like you said. I think with the whole thing, with what's gone on with the transfer window, if it's just Virgil van Dijk, isn't it? Once that blows over, I think it'll blow over. Once we get a few solid performances in and we don't look shaky, and if our defence can carry on, we're getting a few clean sheets and looking decent. The Arsenal game, they didn't really have to do anything. It will put a lot of nerves to rest. People are just going, we've got Champions League football. The opportunity there was to take Virgil van Dijk. The opportunity was there to take Lamar. So they get excited. Yes, we could get these players. Look at our team. It would look amazing.
Yeah,
like everything, we haven't got a terrible team. We've got everything to play for. We're still a force. Teams are still scared of us.
Has no one not been watching the way in which we attack this season?
Oh, it's brutal.
My lord. You don't need to defend it to attacking like that. Sorry, teams will not come out and attack you if you've got Mohamed Salah. And Mohamed Salah, signing of the season, I'm putting it out there. Everyone's going, we haven't brought players in. We brought Mohamed Salah in. He's like not a defender, but Mohamed Salah. What was that, mate?
He's like an amazing dirt cow. He sort of reminds me of the dirt cow. Yeah. But just with pace. I think he's brilliant. I mean, he's just there. He's in the right positions. He runs in the box all the time. He doesn't give anything up. I think he's fantastic. Fantastic.
But I think we should just all out attack. It will be exciting to watch this season, put it that way. But 7 points out of a possible 9 to start off the season. Ideally, the transfer window wasn't... Barring one player, Thomas Lamar wasn't linked at all this summer, apart from the last week of the window. And for me, I think it was just... And I've got a bone to pick with all the journalists as well. I don't know where they got this 170-odd million from. Because I think that's what everyone's labelling the club at. You've all said we've got 170 million. The journalists said this. Jurgen Klopp didn't come out and say, by the way, everyone, we've got 170 million. Which we probably have. But Jurgen's a clever man. He's not going to go out and spend silly money on players he doesn't want. He's only going to spend the money on players he does want. He's not gonna be rushed into panic buying as much as people on Twitter or Facebook or other social media or whatever. He's a clever man. He's the manager of this football club, and I back him, and you back him as well. And every single other fan around the world, I suppose, Liverpool backs Jurgen Klopp. And what we should do is just get behind the players that we've got now. And I'm pretty sure, especially Lovren. Lovren gets a lot of stick from me as well. We don't like it when he does a mistake. He's given his due. He has got that in his armoury, but he could have an absolute stormer of a season. Like, we could be talking come the end of the May, Dejan Lovren and Matip, two of the best centre backs in the league. But only hindsight will let us know that. But I don't know. So.
I agree with you, mate. I agree. I just think we just need to forget about it now. It's done. It's dusted. Yeah. Let's worry again. Let's talk about transfers when we're back in January. Let's focus on the club. Let's take a game at a time. We on our day we can beat anybody. Yes, we have our flaws defensively, but every team has their flaws.
Yeah.
So
even Barca, Bayern, and Juventus, they have their flaws in defensively. It's expected, Joe, when you play football. No one's going to be 100% switched on. And I think when we've had our mishaps in defence, it's only been like that split second. Someone's lost concentration. Ow.
Yeah, but do you think people would really worry about our defence if we didn't concede the same goal? If we was conceding goals a little differently, not just set pieces and stuff like that and corners? I think if our goals were conceded like a little bit more spread out, and scored differently.
Yeah, there'd be a lot more of a panic, I think.
Yeah, totally. So there's plenty of positives. Like you said, as much as like I said, I'm not Dejan Lovren's biggest fan. I criticised him, but he still is a Premier League quality player. There's no argument about that. If Dejan Lovren just does the basics and doesn't try and do other stuff, if he just plays like Jamie Carragher, get the ball first thing, just get it out, then we could have a decent player there. But the fact that how our playing style, he feels like he has to do that, and that's his weakest link. And if he just sticks to the basics, and then once he builds his confidence back up from doing the basics, then start introducing other stuff into your game. And that same goes to Karius as well. I think Karius is similar like that. He's trying to prove himself to be a good goalkeeper. With the Arsenal game, he was doing silly things just to show what he can do. It backfired.
Yeah, I think
stick to the basics, and then you build from that.
Like, especially those two, when you mentioned about Karius there, you bang on, mate. Just players, they do that, don't they? They try and do too much. And I think Lovren just needs to do the basics. We've seen the best Lovren sometimes. Not a lot, but 70% of the time he does do amazing. But there's just that lapse of concentration with his position and play. But I think the more this defence plays together, obviously we just brought Trent Alexander-Arnold, we've bought a new left-back in Robinson. Millie's going to be playing more central midfield as well now. The more this team plays together, the more it will get better, like defensively. That I think was the Chelsea back line. If you look at the best defences, they don't mess around with their back five. But yeah, I didn't really get Karius getting brought in. Mignolet has done nothing at all wrong this season, and the back end of last season he was pivotal to us getting top 4. So I think the more this back five plays together, the more solid it will become. Yeah, obviously, I think after the Watford game, we kept a clean sheet against the Palace, didn't we? So that they would have learned their lesson. But I'm pretty sure, i.e. the Burnley game last season, and there was the odd blips last season when you're just like, what are you doing? But I'm pretty sure Klopp's not a type of manager where he's just going to go, what are you doing? He's not just going to let it pass. I'm pretty sure they give them an absolute rollicking in the changes after the game, like screaming at them, what are you doing? Basic schoolboy defending, done wrong. But I'm very confident, like, this season we've learned our lessons and we know where to improve this season coming into the next couple of months.
Yeah, we've got everything to fight for. We're not as bad as what people think.
Yeah,
cause like you said, because we didn't get the one player, let's just forget about it. Let's just progress. Let's move on.
Yeah, I'm happy it's finished.
Sorry?
I'm happy the transfer window shut. Like, so
you
just
know,
focus on the footy.
Focus
on the footy.
But like just going back to what you were saying about the Karius coming into the Arsenal game, yeah, that didn't make sense. It didn't make sense whatsoever. I don't know what was going on there, and the fact that Mignolet was dropped completely out of the squad. He wasn't even on the bench. Did raise eyebrows, but Klopp is a strange one. You know, we don't always know what's going through his head. He just makes some crazy decisions.
Yeah.
And that's what I think everyone loves about him. It sort of paid off. We kept a clean sheet. Yeah, he did do a few mistakes, but no goals were conceded, and they kept a clean sheet.
But he would
hopefully he can pick up some confidence from it. I know he got slated for doing the little things that he did that was stupid, but if he's got another clean sheet, it's got to be a game time. So hopefully now he's done them stupid things and go, next time I get given a chance, I ain't going to do that again. So we could hopefully take the negative into a positive, hopefully.
Yeah, but we've got to leave him room and leeway to develop as a player. Like, he's moved from Mainz to Liverpool Football Club. No disrespect to Mainz, but they're not a big European club, are they? Like, there's a big difference between playing from one club. Obviously, Mignolet had it from Sunderland. You've got to allow that transition, and especially with goalkeepers, it's not like you're playing striker. If you lose the ball and you make a mistake up front, you're not going to get punished. But if you're a goalkeeper or a central defender, your mistakes get highlighted a lot more because it could just basically lead to a goal. So the goalkeepers in defensive positions are the big priority positions in any like new signing, obviously. But for me, with Jürgen dropping Mignolet, he always does stuff for a reason. He wouldn't have just went, lad, I'm just going to drop you. There was a reason behind it. We never know. Mignolet could have just been too settled and thought, I'm the big boy, I'm the first choice number one. And he thought he could see potential of Mignolet becoming too relaxed in his position.
Yeah, that's a good, definitely a good way of looking at it. I never really thought of it like that. But yeah, you know, like I said, we all don't know what's going behind closed doors, do we? Like you said, Jurgen Klopp is an intelligent man. There is probably a reason behind it. To what reason that is, like you said, your reason just could be very viable.
Yeah, psychological. Managers love to use psychological battles. And I bet you Mignolet woke up like, "What are you doing?" But that gets it. Mignolet thinking like that. If that happens to you, that get you. Yeah,
anything could happen. But like regards to back to Karius, you know, yeah, mine's like you said, all respect to him. They're not the best team in the world. But that final season when we bought him, he got runner-up best goalkeeper in the Bundesliga behind the man you knew.
Yeah,
you know, that's good. There is other good goalkeepers in that.
He can't be too bad.
Bundesliga. Yeah, exactly. And look at David De Gea. David De Gea's first couple of seasons.
He started off terrible, didn't he?
Yeah, everyone hated him. They wanted to get him out of the club.
Yeah, took him 2 years to settle, didn't it?
Yeah, exactly. You know, and for me, I think Karius is just a bit fragile. He needs to get himself a little bit thicker, a bit solider. I think his problem's a bit like what David De Gea had. Yeah. You know, he's just a little bit too soft for the Premier League.
A lot. Now he doesn't want to get his beautiful face wrecked, doesn't he?
Oh, he is a beautiful man. I'll give him that.
As Brendan would say, a wee beautiful human being.
No, he's a sexy man. He's took over the Phil Coutinho sexy now. Yeah. Phil was my sexy little man, but now it's Karius.
Yeah. Blonde hair, blue eyes.
Yeah, beautiful man. But yeah, you know, like I said, I don't understand why Danny Ward needs to get a go.
He's still the club, and talking about I'm surprised one of those 3 goalies didn't go out. I thought potentially one of them would have went out on loan, regardless if that was Karius or Ward.
Ward would have gone to Huddersfield.
Yeah,
I really thought that was going to happen. But you know, obviously, it's not a bad thing that we got 3 goalkeepers. I guess it keeps the competition in training.
Yeah,
but, Danny Ward could be a really decent goalkeeper, and if he doesn't get much game time at Liverpool, coming off a good season at Huddersfield and getting promoted, it could hinder him. It could bring his confidence down. So hopefully he's judging that right and he's got it right. Touch wood, because I think Danny Ward does have a great potential.
Defo. But yeah, is there literally just one more question you want to read out, mate, from your subscribers?
All right, mate. I got me on the spot here.
Sorry, that. That sounds.
Right, okay. Let me read this one. Julius, right. On the bright side, our group stage games finish in December, which should breeze through. If he can lock down Virgil van Dijk or another centre-back early in January, I think we'll be sound, provided we don't collapse up to that January transfer window. I think that's a fairly good comment. Yeah, our group stages aren't the worst. I'm fairly positive in that. If we don't win it, I'm definitely confident we should be coming second.
We're guaranteed 9 points at home. We should win all of our home games.
Yeah,
in Europe.
Should.
So that's 9 points a day. I think, is it 10 points on average in Europe you need to get out of the group stage, or it's 10 points to get out?
And I think, I was fairly confident after that Hoffenheim performance, away leg. I thought we weren't too bad, really. We sat back and hit them on the counter. I think we'll do the same again in Europe. I'm confident about that. So,
especially everyone breaking one. Everyone's going, oh, did the hardest. And then we just were like, nah, mate, 6-3 on aggregates. Go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be nice to get some revenge back on Seville if we top the group.
Oh yeah,
that'd be really, really nice. But yeah, like with this, the compliment, it is only with this comment. It is only till January. If we can secure Virgil van Dijk in January, and we don't have any hiccups prior to that journey to January, it could be still a really, really good season, and we could still really be really happy with how it ends. I'm still fairly confident with this season. The minimum we need is a trophy. Definitely need a trophy this season. I do believe we've got the quality to go and get that as well.
Yeah, I'm really, really, really excited. As we mentioned on when you last come down, mate, it's an exciting team. I'm really, really everyone be like, oh, you're too optimistic, but I seen that team last season, and you're like, yeah, bit here and there, on times, but we weren't terrible. We were not terrible. Like, the potential in this team, especially with Alex coming in, Salah as well, I'm excited. Like, especially with the way in which we attack. The way in which we attack, I've not seen nothing like that. Last time I've seen that was obviously when we had Sterling, Suarez and Sturridge up front that season. Like, teams were just petrified, and we'd just go out and attack them.
But, we've definitely got a team that gets us off our seats, without a doubt.
Yeah.
It is fearful, and teams should be feared. If on our day we can just blitz anybody, absolutely anyone, we're probably one player away from being where we should be, and that's good to see. It is really good to see, especially if you go back from 5 years ago, last time we were in the Champions League.
Yeah, and even the managers we've had 5 years ago, Roy Hodgson. There's no one remember when we used to have Roy Hodgson 4-4-2, sit behind the ball, very depressing football.
Paul Konchesky at left back.
My Lord. He was a transfer deadline Walesy, wasn't he, from Roy? My Lord. So, everyone, we've not had the worst transfer window. That was the worst transfer window. Jovanovic, Joe Cole and Paul Konchesky, kids. Yeah. You haven't lived when you've lived through that.
I agree, mate.
And in this window, we got Naby Keita, so, well, we've agreed it, but we got Salah as well. So I would literally take Mohamed Salah over those three players. Put it that way.
I agree.
But, yeah, Defo, hopefully you've enjoyed it, everyone. We've got anything more to add, Adam?
No, I think we've covered it.
Yeah.
We'll save ourselves for another podcast.
Yeah, but if you like this video, check out Adam's Outta City Cop. You'd all know him by now anyway. And check out my channel and check out all of our videos and content. We do it daily anyway. But if you like this video, it'd be appreciated if you can leave a like, everyone. And thank you very much, Adam, for coming on.
No, thank you so much, guys. Make sure to give Jack a massive like and a subscribe. Fantastic content over on his channel. Yeah,
nice one, lad. And same to him. Everyone get over. If you're not to anyway. But appreciate it, everyone. Thank you very much for listening, especially all to 45 minutes in. Hope you've enjoyed it. And we'll speak to you very soon. We'll hopefully make this a regular thing. Very much, hopefully. So what day are we on? We're on Friday. You never know. As soon as Adam we'll get a schedule sorted. And in this very much, if you like it. And especially, I love the way Adam got his comments as well. It was... we get a accumulate or questions and answers, and we can base our future podcasts around your questions really. So that'll be good anyway.
Sounds brilliant. Great idea.
But yeah, nice one, everyone. Thank you very much, Aaron, and we'll see you very soon. All the best, everyone. check out Adam's videos and mine as well. I think we got a couple more. Adam's got a live stream later out today as well. This will be getting uploaded in a very small second anyway. So all the best everyone, and thank you. Have a quality day and up to heads. And this transfer dealings wasn't, depending on what side of the fence you are, it could have been worse, i.e. Pork and Chesky. Ta-da.